and try to get this done.
Okay. Hey, what is going on over there again?
You know what?
What is happening?
I'm using a tool. It's not a screwdriver, so I don't know exactly what this is.
We're
but
MacGyvering it again.
We're MacGyvering the wine opening again.
Right.
Because once again I forgot to bring a corkscrew. So
I know. This happens.
And also, this is going to be comedy that's going to happen real quick because, of course, the last thing I should be doing is wearing a white shirt as I'm opening up a bottle of red with force. So, you know.
Well,
hopefully the blooper reel will.
Well, I mean, I think we've done this before. We've done this like once before.
Yes.
And it didn't turn out too badly. So we'll see today what's going on. What's happening.
No, it's happening.
And he's got the white shirt on, so you're going to be able to see the wine. You'll see the wine. And so.
Wait.
He did it. He did it. That's incredible.
Nothing
that is incredible.
but love.
Right. So there you go. And looks terrific. Oh, it smells great. It smells great.
Yeah.
What did you bring in?
I actually brought in this really kind of, I love searching for interesting bottles of wine, whether, like something weird at Costco or if I'm going to grocery outlet. And I found this this wine from Carmel Winery. This is actually out of Galilee, so in Israel.
Wow.
So it's kosher if that's a thing for you. But besides it being kosher, it's actually just a really phenomenal cab. It's done in a very non-California way. It got a lot of fruit on the front end of it. Definitely, there's a hint of oak in there, but not that sort of big sort of softness that you
the fruit is hitting you first.
Exactly. So really what I find is I love this is just kind of like almost like an everyday drinking wine, and definitely with food. Like,
and where did you get this?
And unfortunately I can't remember whether it was like a Costco or a grocery outlet, but a mid-level wine, I think like $15 to $20. Just like that is the joy of going to those type of places.
I love doing that.
And mostly, I love going to wineries. I love hitting tasting rooms. And every once in a while, when I want to try something a little bit more out there, or certainly some sort of import
wine experimentation.
Wine experimentation. Those are the places to go to check things out. It's like, oh hey, I didn't know Israel made wine. Let's go. Let's see what this is like. And usually you can find it at like a price that's not going to throw you off.
Like we talked, opening up the palate.
Absolutely.
And trying some different things. You don't want to break the bank, right? But hey, you do want to try some different things.
I think that when you are, in this case, it would be unguided. When you're just out in the shop and you're just trying to check things out. Those type of in the wilds. And if you're like me, I could stand in a wine aisle for about hours. I mean, days even. Just like looking at labels, exploring different things. It's really, for me, it's a lot of fun.
But you're an expert. I mean, you've studied wine, and so you kind of know what you're looking for, whereas somebody like me goes, I'll grab that bottle. Why? I have no idea, but I'm going to just grab that bottle.
I like when somebody else calls me expert, but I would never really think of myself that way. I'm always a student. There's always somebody who knows more about wine, and when I'm going, so going into places like grocery outlet or Costco or any of those type of places is kind of fun to I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that, and then there are other places you can go to like Cordy Brothers in Sacramento, which you walk in there and it's
over on Folsom and 56.
It's
Cordy Brothers is.
Their wine stewards are extraordinary, and they will start pointing you in the great directions. They will explain things for you. Really, that's a whole different type of experience.
Well, you're getting a wine expert to really kind of take you and kind of show you what.
Absolutely.
What do you like? Okay, you like a cab. Okay, we're going to take you down the cab aisle here.
And those guys are receiving constant education on the wines that they carry and beyond. So it's kind of a pleasure to walk into those places.
Let me rewind real quick, because you brought up, I think, a good point, and that's the grocery outlets, the Costco's, the Sam's Clubs. What do you look for when you go look for a bottle of wine in a place like that? Is there something you look for specifically, or you're just kind of open to whatever's there?
I'm usually open to whatever's there. I will say that I really enjoy going to wineries, that are anywhere nearby or far away. Right. So if I'm up in Amador or El Dorado, I really kind of want to experience the wine in those in the wineries, in the tasting rooms. I think there's a real benefit to that.
In their natural environment.
Well, yeah, natural environment, but you also, again, you have amazing staff there and people who work there who can tell you about the wines and educate you and do it in a way that doesn't sound like I just made it sound boring. I mean, they do it in a really fun, it's a great, for me, it's the best way to spend a weekend.
Right.
Is going up there. Yeah. When I end up in a Costco or I end up in any other type of place, I'm probably going to try to look for imported wines. Maybe there's something from a region that I know about, but maybe I've never tasted.
Like this, Israel,
absolutely, right? Like Israel. It's like all of a sudden, and these guys have actually a couple of different labels that I've been able to try, and some of them are a little on the higher end, a little bit on the lower end. Right. But they've all been fantastic, and they're also just really different, and that's something I really enjoy. And like Cabernet, I think Cabernet Sauvignon is a wonderful example of this because we have an idea of what Cabernet Sauvignon should taste like. It's definitely Napa-centric, big oak, nice and soft, big fruit, whatever. And then you realize that that Cabernet is made differently all over the world. Right. And it's really great to not get stuck into one mode of style for Cabernet Sauvignon. Right. A lot of people don't know up in the Amador and El Dorado areas, they grow an amazing amount of Cabernet up there, and their styles are absolutely fantastic. Right. They're different from Napa, but they're wonderful. So,
but that's what makes going to different regions, different AVAs kind of fun.
Absolutely.
I like the Napa Cab. Wow, here's somebody else that does a cab, and they do it a little differently just due to the environment and how the grapes grow and all that.
Exactly right. And so it's really a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, I love a Napa Cab. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's really interesting to have a cab or a Super Tuscan, out of Italy, and then drinking Cabernet out of France. It's just. They have a different feel, they have different terroirs, and just a different mindset in making those wines. So when I go into places, like a Costco or any of those other type of places, I'm generally looking for things that I haven't tried before, and so I could get a better feel of what maybe is coming from that region.
Kind of widen your palate, widen your knowledge.
Absolutely, and not to say there aren't wines that I've picked up there that I haven't opened up, taken a really good sip of it, and just poured out the bottle because it was awful.
Right.
And that is,
that's the chance you take.
That is the chance you take, and I've never taken a bottle of wine back. I don't even know if that's possible. But there are times where I've literally opened it and not even had to taste it.
This is horrible.
Down to the last drop, it was horrible. Can I have my money back? Yeah.
I drank half of it. Yeah. But this is horrible. I could not possibly drink any more of this.
Yeah. So
that would be funny. We should do that on video sometime. That'd be a candid camera.
We should get a hidden camera and go into places and try to return an open bottle of wine and see what happens.
Hey, it's almost springtime.
It is.
As I know you're excited about it, I'm excited about it. A lot of the wineries are really starting to percolate and kind of reopen.
Absolutely.
And so what are you looking forward to in the next month or so?
More than anything else, I'm looking forward just to visit wineries again, and also I think there's local wineries have done a great job of working with outside and and adapting to all the new crazy laws. The burden that these guys have been under, the money they've had to spend just to stay open to not make a profit has been excruciating. And just seeing that light at the end of the tunnel, we're starting. Placer County is open. I think it was El Dorado County now.
El Dorado County.
Open.
Yesterday.
I believe we're going to see Amador open
in
the next
everybody
week.
Seems to be open.
And then from there,
the red tier, I guess is we're calling it.
The red tier, right. Yeah. And then, so being able to go back into a winery I'm looking forward to that.
I checked out a couple new wineries for me.
I saw, and those were
this last week. La Mesa, which is in Amador County. They're the new kids on the block.
I've actually heard nothing but amazing things about them.
I thought it was great. I thought it was terrific.
I've got friends who actually went up for a visit like 2 weeks ago and joined up their membership right away. So
ran into our buddy Russ Reyes.
I saw that.
Yeah, that was
hopefully
wacky.
We'll see him as well.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to drop by a little later.
Good. That'd be fantastic.
So, that'll be good. And then we were able to, and I've walked by this tasting room before in Sutter Creek, but never really went in. And we stopped by Scott Harvey's tasting room there on Sutter Street in Maine.
It's kind of funny, like when the weather broke open, I think in January, just a little bit. The first thing I did is I ran up to Amador. And I just said, I just want to go sit in a couple places, sure shots, places I know that no matter what are amazing. The first place we stopped at was there.
Really?
In Amador. And they've got the Sutter Creek one as well.
They have, 3 locations?
I think it's 3 now, but it's one of those places where the wine is going to be extraordinary. The service was, we went to a couple places that day. The service there was, if not the best, right up there.
Top tier.
It's top tier. I think it's just
tier.
It's a golden place. I think there's a couple wineries up in that area that when I'm bringing people in from out of town, that's generally a hard
Well, you want
stop.
to be able to count on, hey, this is a good place. Especially if you got family or friends coming in. You've bragged about what a great wine area it is. You don't want to take them to the 50-50 place.
Well, I think I think one thing that is kind of fun is as new wineries open up, and as older wineries are always changing, they're always evolving. Sometimes there's a hit and miss quality.
Oh, there still can be.
There can be, and fortunately for the places that up in Amador and El Dorado County, it's getting more hit than miss.
Oh yeah, I think the quality is very high.
And especially in the last 5 years or so, but certainly in the last 10. Just the tier of winemaking in general is just going through.
They've upped their game. I mean, I think in the last 5 years.
Yeah, there's been a couple of really interesting winemakers, come into the region, and as a result, everybody else has leveled up, and it's just like it's exciting to be part of that scene. To see hey, what things were 10 years ago and how they've evolved now, seeing how palates change and what works and
more
what doesn't.
Sophistication, I think, in the winemaking in the area.
I would say so, and also I think it's fair to say that up in those regions, years and years ago, say in the 2000s, if you wanted to say that there was kind of a one note tone to that region, I think that's a pretty fair statement. And and you can't say that anymore. There's new wineries that are coming in that just have different ideas about how wine should be made, and I think there's a better variety out there.
I was just going to say the varietals, I think, are much more expansive than they once were.
I think so, and now you'll see some nice Merlots and Cabs in there, and people also playing around with just different varietals. The truth of the matter is like that region is so plentiful for so many different types of varietals. It really it's a great experience, and it's also an experience that you kind of only get up there. You don't if you go to Napa, you will get a great Cabernet, you will get a great Chardonnay, possibly a great Pinot, and then almost every other varietal, if there is a different varietal, you're going to find that fruit comes from different regions outside of Napa and Sonoma. And it's going to come from Lodi, it's going to come from Amador.
Well, and as we've talked about before, Napa has done such a great job marketing wine for years and years and years that in California, when we say wine, I mean, you almost say Napa. I mean, that's how good of a job they've done marketing their product.
I think so, and it's like only that, for people who live in California, they realize that, California is wine country. You can't go anywhere without experiencing a tasting room somewhere, a growing area, all of that type of stuff. So I think one thing that Napa's done extraordinarily well is not just, promoting the wine, but the wine, the food, the overall experience. And what's also great is you're seeing that approach taken more now by places like Lodi and
I think
the other counties.
All the AVAs have kind of adapted what made Napa kind of successful in the beginning and gave their own twist to it. And so you have a different experience, but yet one that has definitely upgraded.
And also, it's fair to say that, the different regions like Amador and El Dorado, they have different challenges. There's a lot of places that, food isn't allowed.
Right.
Or I should say, not the food isn't allowed, but they can't have kitchens.
Right.
And that's a very tough thing to work with.
Yeah, it's a different situation than
right. So it's harder to promote that region as a wine and food.
Right.
Although there are exceptions to be sure. Right. Taste Restaurant, for instance.
Yeah.
I mean that would be a 4-star experience anywhere, and it happens to be in Amador.
Right. Wow. Exactly. Jeremy Marin, the existential wine guy, and of course, what's going on with you? You got anything coming up?
I got some fun stuff coming up. I might be part of a whiskey tasting series.
Wow. I hope I'm
which you are definitely be invited. So we'll get more information out on that. Again, working on the worst website on the internet, which is mine, existentialwineguy.com. So looking to do more content there, and more just goofing off and exploring the experience of being alive through wine.
Right, and we always keep our door open so Jeremy can drop on by anytime he has the time or has the need.
And not if I'm invited, just
drop on by. Drop on by with a bottle of wine. And we'll be right back with more of the Rec Show podcast right after this.
Cheers and love.